should be good now.
You ready?
Yeah, it should be good.
It is now 6:02 p.m. I'd like to call to order the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for July the 15th, 2025. Roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Chad Cleckler.
Here.
Daniel Turner.
Here.
Cassie Hollinshead. Here. Amanda Kelly. Randy Humphrey.
Here.
Miles McCreary.
Here.
And Serena Watson. Here. We have a quorum.
Okay. If y'all will please stand and join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this time that we can gather here. Be with us now as we enter into this meeting. Guide us and direct us as we conduct business for the city of White House. In Christ's name I pray. Amen. Now the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the Texas. Honor the
Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Please be seated. That takes us to item D, community interest.
I do not have a lot for community interest today. The only thing I could think of was if we have any updates on the city center renovation. Ms. Black.
So city center renovations continue. We have had some delays with the stone supply on some of the exterior stones. We've seen that go a little bit slowly. But the inside, they're moving along nicely. I think we've got paint on the walls and just waiting for permanent power to be pulled hopefully one day this week. And once they get the building climatized, we'll start working on flooring and ceiling and some of those types of things. So we're anticipating an opening in mid-September.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. All right. Okay, nothing else on community interest, then that takes us to item E, consideration of minutes. I believe all of you got minutes in your packet.
Yes. I will move to approve the minutes of the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting from June 17th, 2025.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
So made.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, that takes us then to item F, other action items, public hearings. Number one, public hearing, discussion, consideration, and action on rezoning requests for Mockingbird Place, Unit 2, lots 12 through 49, doc 2022 01033 and tract 4, doc 202 001 0001096 and 41.08 plus or minus acre of land in the E. Brown Survey A0087, Smith County, Texas, from residential low density to residential medium density. Susan, will you give us some additional background on this?
Yes, sir. As you know, this item was tabled from last month. It is back here for consideration regarding this rezoning request from residential low density to residential medium density. The developer has submitted since last month an updated site plan showing new connection to the south side subdivision that was not there previously, but there is still no connection to the east for future development. The rezoning request is not tied to a specific development plan, and so development plans may change. The original zoning was approved in 2016, matching the surrounding RL zoning. The proposed RM zoning allows for smaller lots and more housing types, and dimensional and use differences as outlined in your staff report. There is I have that a little bit further, Leslie, right there. I added that this time so you could see that. I did find after publication of the documents that are in your packet, that the side interior setback that's in your packet shows to be a 0 in RL, but that is incorrect. I just didn't have the 1 in front of it. It's a 10-foot setback for the side interior. Legal counsel has confirmed that this would not be considered spot zoning because it does remain residential. If approved, a new plat would still be required because part of this has already been platted. Staff has received several opposition letters and calls citing concerns about property values, infrastructure strain, traffic, neighborhood character, school overcrowding, and neighborhood covenants. While the city cannot enforce private covenants, that is a concern of the area residents. Notices have been properly issued. Public attendance is expected at the meeting, and at last month's meeting, it was stated that, it's just that last month we did have several here stating their opposition. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I believe we have one of the developers here, and we do need to open a public hearing because I see citizens here to comment.
Okay, all right, then it is now 6:08. I would like to close our regular meeting and open the public hearing. All right, I've got several who have signed in. I'll just call them up. Sarah Hotteman?
Yes.
Hotman, okay. Please just state your name and address for us.
My name is Sarah Ottman. I live at 813 Red Wing Way in the Mockingbird Place subdivision. My husband and I, along with our son and 2 granddaughters who are young, live in Mockingbird Place, directly adjacent to the 40-acre parcel proposed for rezoning from residential low density to residential medium density. Last month, you received a letter from me. You received a letter from many of the people in our subdivision, as well as the room was packed. You had to go get more chairs, so that was great. And everybody spoke in opposition to it. We had some very eloquent speakers. My husband and I are here tonight to respectfully ask that this rezoning request be denied. First, I would like an assurance from Commissioner Serena Watson, who is currently employed by the applicant, the GenCo group, that she will recuse herself from all discussions and decisions. Regardless of your role, the connection creates a potential conflict of interest, or at least the appearance of one. Second, the pattern of development being proposed raises serious concerns. The GenCo group has submitted multiple rezoning applications in Smith County and Tyler in recent years, often pushing for an increase in density. And yet residents consistently raise the same concerns we have referenced in our own letters to you. Roadways that aren't built to handle the traffic, drainage systems that are under stress, schools that may not be prepared for a sudden influx of new students, lower property values, and increasing crime. Medium density zoning sounds pretty mild, but the impact is long lasting. And once you approve it, there's no going back. Third, I want to make a simple but profound distinction. While the GenCo group has a right to submit proposals, it's important to note that their relationship with the White House community is financial in nature. This parcel is a small part of their immense business portfolio if you go to their website and look. This is about maximizing profits for their company. By contrast, residents like us have made deep, long-term investments in our homes, our schools, and our neighborhood. We attend city meetings, volunteer, pay taxes, and plan to remain here. Not for profit, but for community. The GenCo group may build here, but we live here. It is very personal for us. Decisions about land use should prioritize the voices and well-being of those who live with the outcomes every day, not just those who will build and move on. We're not opposed to growth. Obviously, we bought here. We're opposed to this kind of growth. Growth that doesn't reflect the values or voice of the community. We chose to live in a low-density, quiet neighborhood for a reason. changing that zoning would not just change land use, it would change the very character of our lives here. We respectfully urge the commission to maintain the current residential low zoning designation and reject the proposed residential medium rezoning request. We want to ensure that there's transparency and impartiality by addressing the potential conflict of interest with Commissioner Watson's employment at Genco. And we would request that there would be public impact analysis, like for traffic and drainage and school capacity, before advancing any proposal such as this that would have a long-term effect on the residents in our community. We'll hope you'll see the side with the people who have built their lives here, not just those seeking to profit from it. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share our concerns and your willingness to serve our wonderful White House community. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
Chad, if I may address, typically we don't address items in public hearing, but you did make a point about Ms. Watson. She has abstained. She has filed a conflict of interest with me. She will not be participating in the discussions, and she will not vote on this, as she did not last time either. So just to make that clear for everybody. Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
okay, Dylan Singler?
Hi there. My name is Dylan Sigler. I live at 810 Blackbird Way, the Mockingbird Place subdivision. Apologies to those of you who were here last time. I didn't have time to rewrite my speech, so a lot of this will be the same. But first of all, thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak. We really appreciate being able to present these oppositions to you. My wife and I moved into this neighborhood when our second child was on the way. We saw this as our forever home. It's a peaceful neighborhood where we could raise our children. And I'm here to speak on behalf of over 40 of our neighbors who have signed a petition opposing the proposed rezoning of the next phase of our neighborhood to medium density. So this is more than a rezoning issue. This is about safety, infrastructure, and honoring the commitment made to residents who chose this neighborhood for its quiet, low-density design. And I've prepared a few points to support my argument. The first of which, Hagen Road, is our only access point. I know that has since changed since their proposal. But our neighborhood currently only has one way in and out. Hagen is a narrow 2-lane road with no sidewalks, limited visibility, and plenty of drainage issues, which have been very apparent over the last couple of months. Widening it would impact existing homes and is largely impractical in many locations. According to the engineering standards cited by the Community Environmental Defense Services based on the Highway Capacity Manual, 2-lane residential streets of 20 feet wide can carry no more than 1,000 to 2,000 vehicles per day to maintain safe livability. Texas Planning Manuals also recommend adding turning lanes when daily traffic reaches around 3,000 vehicles per day, a threshold medium-density developments could easily surpass. As far as I know, with this proposal, there hasn't been any traffic studies done to see if we would surpass that limit of what Hagen can currently support. But even under ideal conditions, this road isn't built to handle an increased load. There's no proposed upgrades. It would cost the city plenty to upgrade it. The result would be congestion, accident risk, and compromised emergency access, which we've seen utilized with our neighborhood plenty of times. This isn't just a matter of preference, it's a matter of safety for our community. Crime and neighborhood cohesion is my second point. Studies show that areas of high concentration of multi-unit housing experience higher rates of acquisitive crime, especially daytime robberies, which we currently don't experience any of in our neighborhood, due to more transient populations and less neighborhood familiarity. Criminological research further emphasizes that effective natural surveillance neighborhoods, where people know each other and keep an eye out like we do in our neighborhood currently, drops sharply in higher density settings and would with the rezoning plan. This increase in density of our neighborhood would undermine the tight-knit atmosphere that we moved in for and significantly increase the risk of theft and burglary type of crimes. The quiet, connected environment that we all bought into would fundamentally be changed by this rezoning, and in my opinion would be a violation of the trust of the residents in this community. So we're not alone in facing this issue. Communities in Tomball in 2022 had the city council unanimously deny a rezoning for a planned development. League City in 2023, they were also successful, and then Bernie in 2025, just in June, residents opposed to 30-lot development in Johns Road and cited the same concerns that I just mentioned with my first 2 points. These are clear, successful examples of residents taking action to protect their neighborhoods, and we hope to join them in White House by urging this commission to reject this ill-fitting medium-density rezoning. This is about responsible growth. We're not anti-growth, like my colleague mentioned. We understand that White House will continue to grow, especially as Tyler expands, and we welcome that. But we want growth that's thoughtful and in line with the infrastructure that we currently have. This rezoning proposal prioritizes developer profit over residential safety and security. It simply asks too much of too little space. So in closing, our only access road cannot support the increased traffic from this rezoning plan. Safety from both traffic and crime would be compromised in this rezoning plan, and over 40 families have signed a petition urging you to reject this change. We ask that you stand with your residents and vote no on this rezoning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, Daniela and Nathan Schultz? Schmitz, sorry. Couldn't read your writing. Thank you.
Hi there. Yes, my name is Daniela Schmitz. This is my husband, Nathan. We live at 819 Red Wing Way with our 2 children, and we are within 200 feet of the proposed zoning change. We are here to first say that we strongly oppose and protest this change. I spoke here the last time. I went through kind of the key points. I had written you guys a letter. There was a lot of math in here about lot sizes and how many lots could potentially at a medium density fit on a single Mockingbird Place standard lot, which is about 1/4 of an acre right now. Looking at this, I can see that my fears were completely justified. This is shocking what I'm seeing right now. And furthermore, our house, yeah, thank you. Visual aid, thank you.
It's right there.
No, 2 down, there, right there, that's us. So just on the other side of our next door neighbors is this glut of homes being proposed. Vast number. As I said, this is deeply shocking and dismaying. I spoke in my letter about the myriad negative impacts that this opens the door to. Things like number of cars, because when you have so little space between homes, there is less street parking for cars. When you have less setback, there's less of a driveway for people to park their cars in. So then the cars all spill down the street. And my house, which is, 1 house away from all of this, right now, we are blessed to have, fairly open parking in front of our house, but that's no longer going to be the case if this is approved, nor the case for the rest of our neighborhood, which is currently just a lovely, lovely place to live. So we're looking at traffic impacts, we're looking at parking impacts, the safety impacts. There are so many children that play at, various hours of the day in the summer. We have kids on bikes, on scooters, running up and down the streets. And when you have this amount of homes going in, you are going to have such an increase in traffic just moving down at, every hour of the day. Our children are going to have a much harder time enjoying the safety that they currently enjoy. Crime, it's just a matter of statistics. When you pack more people in, just, the rate of crime means that you're hitting more people, even if, if all other factors are equal, which they're probably not going to be. But regardless, as our neighbor said, right now we are so fortunate to enjoy a low crime community, and something like this, I don't think that's going to be the case any longer. The other reason, the more personal reason I think that we so strongly oppose this is that we lived in a neighborhood like this. That's what we left behind. So we have seen these parking impacts firsthand. We have seen the safety issues firsthand. The cars barreling down where kids can't play safely in the middle of the street because there's just traffic coming and going. The lack of community because people just holding up in their little residences on these tiny little lots. The crime, we saw a lot of crime, property crime. It's truly terrible. So we left that behind, and when we looked to move to Mockingbird Place, we looked at the zoning map, and we could see that street is that the north side, the Blackbird Way was going to continue, and we could see that the lots planned there were in kind with the lot that we were purchasing, and that gave us hope and faith that the rest of that plat would be developed in kind with the neighborhood that we were already in. And so that is why we made our purchase. That is why we decided to live in this particular place. And changing that zoning is just such a betrayal of that trust. So with that, once again, we ask that you oppose, that you vote no on this. And thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Vanessa,
Good evening. My name is Vanessa Catania. I live at 811 Blackbird Way in Mockingbird Place. You got to hear from some of my wonderful neighbors. You'll get to hear from some more. My story is a little bit different than many of my neighbors. Many of my neighbors are native Texans. Many of them have been in White House for decades. I've been here for 3 years. I come from Arizona with my husband and my daughter. And when we moved here for work, we asked my daughter, Lindale or White House? And she chose White House. We were lucky enough to find our home in a beautiful community with my mother-in-law just 2 doors down. We celebrate football victories in my neighborhood. We've celebrated new family members, weddings, giant snowmen. And we've shared in each other's sorrows when loved ones have passed. This is our home. My previous neighborhood back home in Arizona wasn't home. I didn't know my neighbor to my left. I didn't know them to my right. I do here, and across the street, and 4 doors down, and 3 streets over. This is our family. This was what Texas was luring us to. We heard about the wonderful things in Texas. We heard about East Texas. We heard about the pride in the people first, and the pride in the land first. And Arizona's changing. A lot of that's gone, but here it lives. And so we chose here, and we chose our home. And so I'm here to ask you to vote no. Preserve our home and protect the heart of our community.
thank you. Okay, and last is the applicant. Ben Real? Real.
Hey everybody, I'm Ben Real, I'm the residential project manager for Geneco Group here in Tyler. So we are looking to do from RL low density to RM medium density, which allow us to bring in a variety of different builders into this current neighborhood. When we bought the property in 2021, the housing market was completely different. We could sell houses as fast as you can build them. People that could afford this type house in Mockingbird, the low 400s, the middle 400s, that market has changed. They can no longer afford that. So we're trying to provide an area in this neighborhood where the same person who was buying that in 2021 can buy it in 2025. We heard the concerns of the neighborhood and the community from the last meeting. It was tabled because couldn't get a quorum. And we're seeing that our last plan, if y'all can bring the last plan up, we did all medium density, which was 176 lots. We heard the concerns of the community. We realized this was going to be a fight. We realized that we need to give back some, so we did. Even though we are trying to get it down to medium density, we're still not going to build all that we can in the medium density. The current plan is from going from 176 lots of the first plan from last month to 150 lots, and also to increase connectivity an extra way out of the community going to Christopher Street, which is already a stub out at Christopher Street that's never been developed. So on the 150 lots that we're showing on this layout in the medium density, 50 of them are actually going to be built the same way Mockingbird was originally going to be built. So they're actually going to be built to RL standards, even though the zoning is RM. And with 100 of those lots going to the RM, the smaller lots. We are projecting for this project to be built out in 4 years, in 4 stages. It's not all happening all at once. It's not happening in a year and a half. We're building it 4 years, and if the market is right, we'll actually sell out in 6 years. That's our projections. And who knows what the market's gonna do. It could take longer, we could send, who knows how the community's gonna grow. So maybe Hagen Road will actually will get improved. But it's not happening overnight. We're not putting 150 houses on the market next year. It's gonna be at least a 4-year project. At Junico, we pride ourselves of building a good product. If you go to our Legacy Bend, if you go to any of our other properties over in Holly Tree and Tyler, anywhere else, we do a good product. We pride ourselves of building a good product. We're going to do the same here. I grew up in White House. I don't want to see anything being built in White House that is not to Junico standards. We are a long-standing company in the community, and we have the means and desires to finish out this project. The previous owners that we bought it from fell through. They couldn't finish the project. We're here to finish the project, and we just ask that you allow us to do that. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, I don't have any others that have signed in, so it is now 6:28. We'll close the public hearing and reopen our regular meeting. Okay, so this is not a planned development, is that correct, Susan?
That is correct, it is not a planned development.
So even though that they're showing they're showing an intent to have a residential low in a portion and residential medium in another portion, they have not gone through the steps to provide, to work with the city for a planned development. That's correct?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to speed on a little bit of these things. All right. Do y'all have any of y'all have any questions concerning this? I know most of you heard this last month, so. Daniel, do you have any questions?
No, not really any questions. I just
Okay.
just don't feel comfortable changing it because it could become anything at this point.
Well, and that's the thing, is if you change it from residential low to residential medium, no matter what their intent is, anything that's in residential medium can be built on that piece of property if we change the zoning.
And
Okay, so, and likewise, anything in residential low can be built, that qualifies to be built in that currently, at that current zoning. But changing it to medium opens up a tremendous amount of other things that can be built. And this is not something that they've worked with the city with, to come forth and bring forth a proposed, planned development. Changing it from one to the other, again, it just opens up there's a lot of things that can happen, with that, so. Okay.
can we ask Ben questions?
Yes, absolutely. Ben, do you mind stepping back up here for just a minute?
So they apparently have an HOA in phase one. Does that HOA extend to phase two as well?
It does.
It does?
It does.
That was my only question.
That was your only question?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Do the current restrictions only cover phase one, so there would be new restrictions filed for the remainder?
It'll roll over into the entire property. So,
Okay.
Did y'all finish out phase one, or did somebody else finish phase
we
one?
bought it, the roads are already in.
Right.
We bought it from the company.
Okay.
And bought the rest of the 41 acres from them.
Did y'all build the houses that are?
No, we didn't, we we don't build houses. We just
Oh,
build
okay,
roads.
you just do the lots, okay, thank you.
Anybody else got any questions? No? I don't have any questions for you. Good. All right. Nobody's got any questions?
I'll make a comment. If the restrictions roll over to the rest of it, and the restrictions require single family, they couldn't put anything but single family on it, so that would prevent them from building a more dense product, more like a duplex or something like that. The restrictions would prevent that. So it would still just be single family, it would just be smaller and maybe more affordable, cause the price has changed since they started that development, so.
But the city can't guarantee that because
No, they
it's a-
cannot. but
because
the-
it's an HOA thing, not
Right, but
a,
the restrictions would,
It's a covenants thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
would cover that from a legal standpoint, that they would be restricted to single family.
Right.
So there's some help there.
But it does shift the onus from that protection to either the HOA or existing homeowners to file suit.
To file
prevent
suit, right.
Right.
Whereas zoning restrictions in place prevent it
Right.
from the city's perspective, so there is a difference.
Right,
yes.
Yeah. Anybody else got any comments? I have a motion.
I will make a motion to not recommend the rezoning request for Mockingbird Place, Unit 2, lots 12 through 49 at Tract 4, from residential low density to residential medium density.
Okay, so I have a
Motion to not.
motion to deny the,
Yeah, to
deny the recommendation, okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion, I have a second. All right, roll call vote, please.
Okay. Osmo Prairie?
Nay. Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
Okay. A vote no would be that you would like to recommend. A vote for is a vote for the denial
I'm
of
sorry,
recommendation.
I apologize.
it's for denial.
Yeah, denied.
Okay, so four, okay.
I
Randy,
apologize.
Randy Humphrey,
For the denial.
Cassie Hollinshead,
against.
Daniel Turner,
4.
Chad Cleckler,
4.
and Serena Watson abstains. But I need you to say that. Abstain. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so then the motion, so the motion to deny recommendation for the zoning request from residential low to residential medium for the property located in Mockingbird Place, Unit 2, lots 12 through 49 and Tract 4, has been approved to deny the recommendation. Okay,
Yeah, at this point,
Oh.
Mr. Reel,
Mr. Reel,
okay. Well, at this point, they now have to appeal. If they get an appeal to me within this week, it will go to the city council meeting on the 22nd, which is next Tuesday. If you want to check the agenda, that would probably be the safest, but you're welcome to show up, of course, because there'll be other items on the agenda that, we'd love to have input on as well. Yes,
Would we be notified, again, being within the 200 feet thing, that this is going to city council?
there's no other notification. So if you want to give me a call this week, y'all have my phone number, you're welcome to call me and ask if we've gotten that appeal or not, or you can look at the agenda, or, like I said, just come on Tuesday and we'd love to have your opinions on other things too.
We usually post
agenda Friday afternoon.
Yes, oh, sorry, yes.
So is there any way that we can find out what they were proposing as far as the size house on them, on those itty bitty lots?
I do not have that
And
information.
that's
It's not,
part of the application.
That
or-
is
Okay, all right.
But it is part of our HOA that there is a square footage.
Yeah.
there must be, but we, again, like we were talking about, the city doesn't enforce those covenants, so I would check your documents.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
A minute to get that.
Got me confused there, Daniel, for a
Yeah, I
second
know.
that day.
We're gonna continue our meeting, so if, we've got to continue our meeting, so. Okay, that'll take us to item F2, variance request to the Combined Zoning Ordinance, section 4.5, use table drive-through to allow a drive-through style restaurant property of Ronnie R, Berryhill.
Commissioners, the applicant is requesting a variance to allow a drive-through restaurant. I believe the name of the restaurant would be Crazy Cajun. I may be wrong. The applicant representative is here. He can tell us that. At 301 and 303 West Main Street, the property's current zoning does not permit drive-throughs. The proposed seasonal business will operate mainly during dinner hours and feature a limited menu. And there, I've not received any public comments for or against this so far.
Okay.
I do see the applicant's representative in the audience,
Okay.
but we do need to, do we open a public hearing on this? Yeah, I think we have to open a public hearing.
Okay.
Are you looking, am I wrong?
It doesn't say so on the agenda.
Doesn't say so
Okay.
on the agenda, so.
All right, okay, never mind, sorry,
Okay.
so sorry. I've had too many public
All right.
hearings lately. Everything seems like a public hearing. I apologize.
Okay, anybody have any particular questions about, now that,
Do we know where we are in the world?
so, yeah, 346 in Willingham.
Okay,
That's a busy,
It's very busy, and I live off Willingham Road, and I'm just gonna make just a small comment, because right across from those lots is Wildcat Drive. And I know that this is a seasonal operation, and I get all of that, but if you've ever tried to turn left going west on 346, from Willingham Road to 346, during a peak hour, that being the morning, it could be the afternoon after school, it could even be 5 o'clock rush hour. It's really, really treacherous.
gotcha.
And my concern is the egress on 346, coming out of that restaurant facility and turning left there with Wildcat Drive across the road, the egress to the property, and then Willingham Road. Don't know that anything that has anything to do with this zoning, but until you've played chicken there at Willingham Road at 346, you would understand what I'm saying. And a suggestion might be, out of the restaurant, if you're turning on 346, is a right-hand turn only. I don't know what the solution would be. It's just a concern when I was looking at the arrows on the map and all.
That was one of the things that I was gonna ask is, what is the actual traffic flow around that as far as a drive-through?
would we like the applicant?
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. If you don't mind coming forward.
I can only go by what the franchisee that we're talking to down in Beaumont says as far as his huts and say that. But it's usually only around 4 to 5 at a time, because we're not gonna be at McDonald's, right? So we're gonna have a clientele that some people can't stand crawfish and Cajun food, so we're gonna have the kind of traffic you would have with a McDonald's or say, for instance, a Taco Bell or something of that nature. So I would hope 4 to 5 at a time is gonna be max, is what he says, comes through there when they have theirs. And they've got theirs all down in Lafayette and Beaumont and all those big areas down there.
Okay, So, but your flow of traffic, I guess I'm a little confused with exactly where
Well,
the
there's a couple of ways
restaurant.
we do it, right? We
Yeah.
can either come in off of Willingham
Uh-huh,
and take a right into there and come through, and we'd have at least space for at least 6 or 7. Or we could come off of 346. We'd be willing to work to get whatever egress and whatever way we need to flow the traffic to make it work. I mean, those were just ideas we were throwing at first. And you were very, very right. We need to work on, how do we come in, how do we leave, what's the best for that right?
So is there a?
And hopefully cut off anything that would lead to a problem. Like for instance, if we were to leave out 346, we say right turn up. No taking a left out of here, and something of that nature to cut that problem down.
Need to do that on Willingham.
So is there parking as well for a sit-down restaurant?
Oh, yeah,
or is
so
it
well,
just?
it's not gonna be sit down, so we're gonna be mainly take out and take and go. And it's a seasonal business.
Kind of like food truck type of thing?
It's semi, but it's a seasonal, crawfish, Cajun food, right?
Oh.
Now, hopefully,
Like
we
a
grow
coffee
it, maybe we can keep it open a little bit more, but usually it's 3:30 in the afternoon till about 8:30 at night, and that's it. And we're only at the moment gonna go during season, right? So we're, I would hope it maybe grow to something we can do, I don't know, shrimp and maybe catfish or gumbo or something like that later on at some point in time. But at the moment, it's gonna be the seasonal crawfish.
okay,
But the only thing we're considering today is a drive-through or not.
The
That's
variance
right.
for the drive.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I
That's the
wouldn't even
only
be
thing.
asking, except for they basically told us, especially with what happened during COVID, it has changed the market absolutely completely, and if you don't have one, you might as well probably not even open it. We can try to do, come down and take out, but it's just, right now, I think you all know how it kind of changed.
okay.
So will we have an opportunity to approve any other type of plan? Like the traffic flow or anything, like the drive in and out? Or is it, if we say the variance is okay, then it's end of deal for us?
As long as they meet all of the city
As long as
ordinances and
it meets
codes.
the ordinance, then
Yeah,
there wouldn't be.
everything
anything
meets
else.
the ordinance except for a drive-through window.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everything, I could put a restaurant there right now, but I just need a drive-through.
Gotcha.
That's the only reason for this.
Gotcha.
Anybody got any additional questions?
I'm questioned out.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the variance request for a drive-through.
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion, do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
I
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right. Now, that takes us to item F3, public hearing, discussion, consideration, and action on request to amend the plan development agreement for the villas on Main in a portion of Park Meadows subdivision, a 14.77 plus or minus acre of land in the J.M. Draper Survey A-290 and J. Heron Survey A-293, Smith County, Texas. Okay,
Commissioners, excuse me, Canaan Land Development received approval in 2022 for the Villas on Main plan development that was then known as Hamilton Meadows. In 2023, the lot layout was slightly adjusted, adding a net of 2 lots that had came before you in 2023. Tonight, the developer is requesting 2 main changes. One is to reduce the minimum home size in the eastern section of the development from 1,400 square feet to 1,000 square feet as the entry, and introduce for sale homes instead of they had been just going to rent the homes and retain the property themselves. And also, which would also allow for multiple floor plans instead of the identical rental homes. In the middle section, they are asking to reduce those home sizes from 1,600 square feet to 1,400 square feet as the entry, and to also change the roof pitch from an 812 to a 612 to match all the other sections. Because these are major amendments to the plan development, they do require this public hearing and meeting with the planning and zoning for their recommendation to go before city council, which will also hold a public hearing and then make a final decision. All related ordinances and updated plans are included in your packet for review, and staff asked the commission to review this request and provide a recommendation to council.
Okay. All right, it is now 6:47. I will close our regular meeting and open the public hearing. Right,
May not have anyone but the applicant who would like to speak.
okay, absolutely.
My name is Brent Conway. I represent the developer. Just to kind of give you you guys an idea of what, whenever we initially planned this neighborhood, we planned on smaller homes in the back, larger homes in the middle, and then rental homes up front. And that's the way the property was laid out. The middle section, really what we're wanting to do there is we're just really wanting to kind of consolidate the restrictions, so the restrictions for that whole area are similar. They're familiar. Those are larger lots, they're more expensive lots, so obviously they're gonna demand a more expensive house, but we're just wanting to kind of simplify the restrictions, and that was the reason why we asked for the 6 and 12 roof pitch. We're still wanting to differentiate those homes in that area, and we were just more of a consolidation of the restrictions there. As far as and that's the middle in the orange, the orange part. As far as the townhomes in the front part, the market, as Jennifer Group said, I mean, we all know the market has changed a lot since we started this. Our initial intent was to build all rental homes, keep them for ourselves, and because the market changed, what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to ask for 1,000 square foot minimum. That doesn't mean that every house in there is going to be 1,000 square foot minimum. That means that only a few, that gives us a few options there, and it really opens up the square footage, the floor plans that we can offer there. So we, instead of one house plan with varying different elevations, we can have multiple elevations. So that's really the primary reason why we're asking for that. We're wanting to open that up to for sale, and also incorporate this into the overall HOA, managed HOA, and restrictions. So so that would be, there would basically, in the end, there would be two sets of standards. One that would govern as far as the square footage of the houses for the middle and the back, and then this one here, which would be the smaller house plans. But it's more of a consolidation in but I thank you guys for listening to me. I appreciate what you guys do. Y'all do a lot.
Thank you.
I have to deal with a lot, but I'm here for questions if you have any questions.
Okay. Okay. At this point, it's 6:50. I'm going to close our public hearing and reopen our regular meeting. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
No, that's pretty.
It's pretty straightforward, the request.
If I may, I have one
Yes.
thing I'm not sure I understood, and I'm not sure if it's okay for me to ask, so I'm asking. When you talked about the HOA, maybe I misunderstood, where you have two HOAs, or are they going to be consolidated into one HOA?
No, I wanted, our intent would be to consolidate everything into one HOA, and one master HOA manager would drive through weekly and look at the yards and look at just everything that's going on there and make sure that everything's in compliance. But this consolidation kind of helps that. Yes, the front would now be a part of the entire neighborhood, and it would be overseen by a third-party manager.
Okay.
I'm just curious, this backs up to Hamilton, right? Or that hasn't been built out yet on 346? Right? Does it back up to that? Park it's Hamilton or whatever?
Hamilton Park.
Hamilton Park? It backs up to that,
it's-
right?
Close, but
Okay.
it's got, there's a creek that divides it too, I think.
Yeah.
So
There's a
this
what?
is, From your side, this is the east, and the Hamilton Park that you're talking about is over here.
It's over there,
And
okay.
then, so we developed the first phase here, and then we developed the second phase here. And then this home style will grow this way, and then the middle will be, they're bigger lots, so they're gonna be, those houses are gonna be different than the front up there.
Understood.
But we wanna consolidate the whole thing into one HOA, and kind of standardize the restrictions, so, just for simplicity.
Understood.
I'm not sure if I put an area map in there, sorry, I should have.
Do what?
I was wondering if I put an area map in and I didn't, so I
Oh.
apologize.
Okay. Anybody got any additional questions? Okay, all right. Thank you. All right. Then I will, anybody have a motion?
I will move to approve the request to amend the plan development agreement for the villas on Main and a portion of Park Meadows subdivision.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion. I have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion is approved.
So this will move on to, July 22nd. Brent. This will go to city council for their final approval on the 22nd.
I'll be there
Okay.
next Tuesday. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and that takes us to item G, administrative reports.
Oh, okay, I wonder if that's. Unless I used the wrong kind of link.
Maybe.
There it comes.
One thing I did not do is prepare comments on this. Why is that not showing? Let me bring it up over here. I don't know what that is even supposed to be.
Residential permits are up.
None in June, though.
There were none in
None
June,
in June.
but
Vacation.
there's that.
Too hot.
We've seen several come through just this week. A few from Conaway. Mr. Hall will be ramping up his pretty soon as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this to. I can't even get it to open over here, so I can't remember what that.
It says source data,
Yeah,
so
we'll
it's
work.
not pulling from the source.
It won't let me load anything at all. So I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I mean, it has slowed some, but I think it's, like Cassie said, we have people on vacation. I think people are just.
Summertime.
Summer, people are trying to
Yep.
get their vacations out of the way, hopefully. But I do know, like, Mr. Conway was just here. He's planning several, and like I said, Mr. Hall is planning several as well.
Okay.
Well, and you see that CO number at 30%. I mean, it's just, as you all know,
It's
in construction
cyclical.
cycle, you get a whole bunch done, then
Yep.
you don't have any permanent. So it's just in different phases of development, but it remains strong.
Looks like the new inspector's staying busy.
Yes, he is. He's doing well. Training's going well. I do have a new permit tech that started this week. So Morgan will be moving when we all transition and the new building is open at 109. She'll be transitioning into a new role there. So we've hired a new permit tech. We're getting her trained up. So she'll be ready to go by the time we do that.
Okay.
Then we posted today or yesterday the Development Services Director position. So as you all know, Susan has been wearing 15 different hats for us over the last many years that I can think of today. And so with her taking on the role as the Executive Director for the Economic Development Corporation, we're looking to hire a dedicated Development Services Director as we go forward. So if you know anyone that has a strong background in planning, send them my way. So love to talk to them. So
Okay.
excited about what that means for the future. We've got a couple of great things in the works already with a grant application for a new comprehensive plan and some things there, so, we've got a lot of work for whoever dares take on that role.
Okay, anybody got anything else? No? All right, that takes us to item H. Item of motion.
Move to adjourn today's meeting.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned.